And then I said, or maybe what Jesus meant is that when you look upon anyone, you look upon the Father. That there's God in all of us. Maybe that's what he meant. And like the other 9 people all went, oh, that's really nice. And he just hated it. And he just went like, I actually think he said, no one ever accused you Jews of not being clever. And I went, okay.
You know, historically, it's the evangelicals and the charismatic Christians and the flag lapel pin people and the Bible-toting people, the people with the fish on their bumper, who are the ones to keep your eyes on.
This collision of faith and culture is playing out on the car bumpers of America in the form of the Jesus fish. It's funny to me that this symbol of faith is so annoying to people. So much so that the Bill Maher fan club jumped into the primordial ooze and the Jesus fish evolved. And the Christians were like, Darwin? Evolution? I don't think so. This ain't Russia. So here comes the truth fish to chomp on Darwin. Take that, secular humanists. But wait, look out. Here comes T-Rex to eat the truth fish. Will these car bumper hostilities lead to Carmageddon? Alien. Evolve already. Fish and chips. The flying spaghetti monster. Satan. Science. Sushi.
Dear church lady, I sometimes think you don't want to listen to anyone's opinion but your own. Well, Chucky, I can't hear you.
I'm finding there's a translation problem when Christians try to talk to non-Christians. It's kind of like the ugly American abroad. We have no idea how we sound to others.
God bless. You know God blesses America. That's a given. Everyone knows that. Does he bless anybody else?
Of course he does, and it's just that whole thing that the Americans aren't quite aware of the rest of the world sometimes.
We met a gentleman yesterday that didn't think Scotland existed, and he was deadly serious.
That people tend to talk to you as opposed to have a conversation with you.
You're trying to imply that God created the entire world, not just America.
Not just America, and there are way more gods and way more religions than just a Christian gods, and if you know what I mean. I'm getting a bit tongue-tied, but
it's because you're speaking heresy. That's why you're kind of. There's a whole lot of us saying being more concerned about being right, perhaps, than demonstrating, humility and love and compassion.
I don't see any place in the Bible where Jesus says to be right, and I see a lot in the Bible where he tells us to learn about love.
If we don't get it together and start listening to each other, then I don't like the road we're taking.
So when you have both the right active and thinking they're losing, and the left active and thinking they're losing, that creates an atmosphere and a recipe for extremism.
By the time we got to Texas, the shiny buckle on the Bible Belt, it was winter, and the annual War on Christmas talk had kicked up. We Christians seem so ready to fight. And why not? We outnumber them. We can win.
This week there was a highly attended conference in Washington called the War on Christians. Because nothing quite says I'm oppressed like the opulent Regency ballroom of the Omni Shoreham Hotel.
Is a Christmas tree in a school an unconstitutional celebration of a religion?
John, your war on Christmas is bogus. It doesn't exist. It's thinner than drugstore wrapping paper. Christmas trees can exist in public schools.
The new law states we can't sing any songs having to do with Jesus or Santa Claus. So does anybody know any non-Santa or non-Jesus Christmas songs?
Hey, I think this stuff is absurd too. I mean, I'm in Texas, and I can't find a nativity scene.
So guys, what are we putting up here? Is this a Christmas display or a holiday display?
Holiday.
Holiday, is that right?
Can we have a mic, please?
Yeah,
it's a holiday.
Right. Yeah, that's right. So why can't we call it a Christmas display?
Because it might offend other people, to celebrate other holidays.
I am a Jew, and every single one of my ancestors was Jewish. And it does not bother me even a little bit when people call those beautifully lit up, bejeweled trees Christmas trees.
But I actually did begin to feel a little persecuted when I came upon this small restaurant all dressed up for Christmas, and no baby Jesus. It was almost as if Christmas was being censored.
Is it a holiday decoration or is it a Christmas decoration?
Well, I guess both, yeah. And holiday, but I guess not to be so specific, just is for people that celebrate Hanukkah and everything, so I guess it's just for both. Of course, I believe in Jesus Christ, and I'm all for Christmas decorations, so, I mean, I guess it's okay to make everybody happy, but we celebrate Christmas at my house, so we just decorate with Christmas stuff, so.
By the way, the food at the dinner bell was great, and the service even better. And while I wouldn't call it a war on Christmas, seriously, where's baby Jesus? By the time I got to Virginia, I realized it's my choice to be offended or not. But it's getting easier and easier to be offended. When I finally found a creche, the wise man from the east, the black man, had no hands. And the Christ child was blonde, blue-eyed, and needed rhinoplasty. Yes, us against them is fun and easy to play. It gets the voters out, it raises money, drives ratings, and outrage is way more exciting than humility. This country is polarized, and we're loving it.
Look out, Easter Bunny, you are not wanted in some places.
Now the culture wars were raging in the heartland. The Easter Bunny had been removed from the city council offices in St. Paul, Minnesota. This I had to see for myself.
Did you hear about this business with the Easter Bunny being removed from City Hall?
Oh, vaguely.
Oh, did you hear about that?
Did not hear about it. They took the Easter Bunny away from City Hall.
Jason Hoppen, who covers the city beat for the St. Paul Pioneer Press, broke the story after receiving a cryptic phone call.
Just saying chicks, bunnies, everybody's mad. So I started checking into it, and I found out that the city's human rights director had asked that they be removed because they might be offensive to non-Christians.
The bunnies?
Yeah.
Non-Christians would be offended by it?
I am atheist. It can offend. It's just the Easter Bunny. It's not a big deal. People are making a big stink about it. It's something small. Let it be. Let it go.
We do take our human rights very seriously in St. Paul. I think this is a case where just maybe we took it a step farther than it ought to have gone, and that's where I came in and said, you know, we should really kind of back off on this.
On the day the story came out, a box of marshmallow peeps appeared downstairs on a 3-story statue that we have in the hall called the Vision of Peace. That box multiplied over time to include dozens and dozens of boxes and pictures and flowers and letters and things like that. And the county, which controls the building, left them up until the day after Easter, and they were gone that Monday morning.
So sort of a marshmallow bunny vigil.
Exactly. The March of the Peeps.
We were thinking, since like you're in a town that's called St. Paul, maybe the safest thing would just be to rename the town, you know, to something less religious.
You're right. We've got to do something about this.
So we enlisted our concierge to put her best calligraphy to parchment and draft a proclamation recommending St. Paul change its name.
If you'd go along with this, Ann, okay?
All right, I will.
Whereas the citizens of St. Paul
should not be subjected to religious imagery in the public
square, such as Easter bunnies in the courthouse.
And whereas the municipality of St. Paul
is in fact named after St. Paul,
a major religious figure.
We, the undersigned, move that the city of St. Paul be renamed.
I was doing so well.
Be renamed. That the city of St. Paul be renamed
to be religious neutral
and less offensive.
New Leningrad.
What do you think? Can you get behind New Leningrad?
I think I would just rather leave it St. Paul.
Great thought. I think we'll stick with St. Paul, though.
I think that's a terrible idea. I think this is the way it is, and it's been that way for a reason. You know.
Look, I'm just throwing out an idea. I can't guarantee that New Leningrad. If you got a better idea,
I don't.
Now, the ACLU, for want of a scapegoat, has been putting a pinch on public expressions of religion, and now nobody's sure what's okay and what's not. So what does the ACLU want? What do Americans really want? No religious imagery in the public square? Fine. St. Paul is hereby known